Welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. Today I have a wooden round, which is just some plyboard, and it's 25 centimetres, so 10 inches across. And today I've been lucky enough actually to receive some of this Afterglow, which is a colour from TLP, this little Piggy, which is soon to be released. And as I say, I was lucky enough to receive one of those in the post, and it's a beautiful pink, but with a gold colour shift in it. So I've mixed that up today with the JoSonja gloss varnish and the Taubmans Doors and Trims paint, gloss neutral. And I'm going to try and attempt to do a minimalistic swipe, such as Nikki D does so very well. I do struggle with being minimalistic, I must admit. I'm one of those people that tends to, you know, put a lot of different colours in and so on, but I'm going to have a go at it today. So, as usual, I'm experimenting as well. So, I'm experimenting today with my base, and I would love to see how this ends up drying. I've got a lot of the Eraldo di Paolo acrylic pouring paints, so they're pre-mixed, that I haven't used, and so I decided I'd thicken that up a little bit with the JoSonja gloss varnish and the Taubmans, because it is very thin, that particular pouring paint, and I wanted to use it as my base, so I wanted to thicken it up. So we'll see how that dries. It's got a gazillion bubbles in it, so I'll just burst those. And it will be very interesting to see how that dries, because it would be great if I could use that just as some of my coloured bases, and that way I can use it up. So that particular colour is Skyways, so it's just a very, very pale blue. And the other colours I'm going to use today, I've got three other little Piggy colours. I'm going to put Hustle, Venus and Glisten down. With the Venus, it's another beautiful gold colour shift colour. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm also going to be using the Ready to Pour Pouring Masters Special Effects paint, the Blue Interference Pearl. So I'm going to use that. I haven't used the gloss varnish or the Taubmans with that. It's just straight out of the bottle. And I'm also using the Mont Pouring Paint Gold, which I have used the JoSonja Taubmans pouring medium with, and also the Mont Pouring Paint Rose Gold, which I've also done the same thing to that as well. So without further ado, and the Cell Activator is what I've been using mostly lately, and that's the Amsterdam Oxide Black mixed with Australian Floetrol, 1 part paint, 4 parts Floetrol. Right. So I can see lots of bubbles still coming up in my base here, so I'll just burst those again. The best way to avoid the bubbles, of course, is to mix your paints up the day before and allow that paint to degas, as they say. So I'm going to do a little swipe through the middle. I'm not going to get it to go too far, but before I do that, I want to lay down some of my Blue Interference Pearl just into the base, kind of like an aura swipe, like Nikki D's been doing so well. So I just want those that bit of interference to go through my paint as a base. And I'm just going to run a skewer through that, just to blend those interference colours into the... Darren from Venom Fluid Art did some beautiful, I think he calls them ghost swipes, where he had the interference colours in the background, and of course you don't really see them until it dries. So I just wanted to do that, maybe a little bit more over here. So I've said already that, you know, I'm going to start off with minimalistic, and already I'm doing other things here, but that's okay. I think that'll be enough just to add a pretty little base. So now, which colour will I add first? I'll leave the Glisten to the top. I'm going to put the Hustle first because it's very bright. So I'm just going to try and go straight through the middle here. Oops. And I will be spinning this out today. So I'm just putting that through the middle. Then I'm going to lay down Venus, which looks quite thick actually. I might just add a little bit more JoSonja just to thin that down a little bit. So sometimes you do have to adjust your thickness of your paints, particularly if you've had them mixed up for a few days, and even though they're in a covered container, they can still thicken up a little bit. And people have been asking me where I've been getting my little containers. They're actually, this particular brand is Hercules, and it's called a baby food container. I use them for freezing and storing baby food. I did notice there is quite a few different ones that look very similar on the market, but mine are the Hercules brand. And this is our new colour, which is, of course, the Afterglow. So I'd like that to kind of be the hero here today. So I'm going to lay that through the sides. So hopefully we will definitely see that. It's actually quite peachy, really, when you look at it against the other pinks. And then some of the Glisten, which is a TLP. It's a beautiful interference colour. I'm just going to drizzle that through the middle there. Just a little bit. And take it down the sides as well. And now my Mont pouring paint gold. So not always, but I often like to put that on last because it does help to create beautiful cells. And the Mont pouring paint rose gold, which I just added a bit of the JoSonja and the Taubmans into the bottle, so it's a bit thin actually. I didn't thicken it up as much. Right, well, a million bubbles there, so I'll just burst those. I have got a tiny little butane heat torch coming, like Darren uses from Venom Fluid Art. So these cute little butane torches are only about that big. The one I've got's much bigger, and I also use my heat embossing tool as you've just seen me use. So I'm looking forward to getting those little guys. They don't get too hot apparently, and are very easy to use. So that was a great idea from Darren. Thank you, Darren. Okay, so now I'm just going to swipe straight through the middle there using my little offset spatula and the Amsterdam Oxide Black. So I'm just going to coat the back of my little spatula, not too deep. And then I'm just going to literally swipe through the middle. So here we go. Trying to hold the spatula so it's not pressing too hard, but hard enough. Okay, well I can really see that afterglow coming up. It's beautiful. Very peachy looking. Okay, now how simple can I keep this? So I'm just going to do a little bit of a spin out first. Oh, they came up nice. And now I'm just going to do a little bit of lift and drag. I've got plenty of paint on there, so should be able to drag it quite well. If you're going to do a lift and drag, you do need enough pillow paint underneath to allow you to actually be able to lift the paint. See that beautiful glisten just sitting there? Big bubble. I'd like to thin this out in the middle there a bit, but I'll fiddle with that in a second. This piece here, I'll try and lift him up. Just want to give it a little bit more shape. It looks a bit just like a big long sausage at the moment. I'm just going to bring it in and out. Right, now what I actually want to do is just do a little blowout with my little mini blower that has the attachment on it that I bought from Tracy Reed Designs. I've got such a lot of paint underneath there. So from minimalistic, I've really gone to far more complicated. I'm loving that afterglow. It's absolutely beautiful. The gold shift that it's got in there. Okay, just going to really spin this out. I'm going to keep spinning. I nearly spun that off the table then. I'm just loving the way the cells are expanding in that afterglow. It's just absolutely beautiful. With the, it's a really good match with the Mont pouring paint, the rose gold. With that, it's just got that rose goldy look about it. Just going to run a little bit of the TLP through there. Afterglow. Just putting a little bit of it on the skewer. And because I don't love the composition, I just want to get a bit more of that colour coming in through. So I'm literally just dipping it into my paint and then bringing it on and then just working it through. So I suppose you'd call that a dip and drag, dipping it in the paint and then dragging it up. It's not exactly what I was going for, but I was just really trying to try out the beautiful afterglow. And it is stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. So I'll bring you down for a close-up anyway, and we shall have another attempt at this another day. So, be back in a sec. Here we are coming down for the close-up of this piece. It was supposed to be minimalistic, but has ended up anything but. But the main thing was just trying out this new afterglow colour from this little Piggy, and you can see it there. Look at that. It's just peachy with a beautiful gold colour shift. It is beautiful. You can see I've woven it through in various spots here. I'm sure it will dry beautifully, and of course those other colours that I had mixed in there as well, Venus and Hustle, and of course the Mont golds. It's just gorgeous. So I'll have another go at this. I'm determined to be able to do a colour painting that will be minimalistic, but I also wanted to check to see how the base will dry. That was the Eraldo pouring paint that I mixed with the Bloom pouring medium. So a bit of an experiment. So I'll actually come back to you on this one once it's dried in a couple of days, and we can see how that did actually dry. So it was a 2-in-1 experiment really. Okay, see you back here in Studio 33 in the not too distant future. Until then, stay safe. Bye-bye. Well, here we are 2 days later with the dried result. And this has dried really well. There's a lot of pitting here, you can see, and that's because I've actually painted over a previous piece of art and not the base itself. The base itself has actually dried really, really well. So that was the Eraldo di Paolo pouring paint, which I then mixed with the JoSonja and the Taubmans. And it has actually dried to a really nice finish. As I say, the little pitting is because of the paint that I had underneath. This was another piece I did on the same day. And you can see that that's the base has dried very smooth indeed. So that's proof that I can use those pouring paints and mix them up with the JoSonja and the Taubmans to make it into a thicker paint, and that it actually dries really well. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye bye.